Hi, I'm Wayne Allyn Root for Personal Liberty. I just interviewed one of the most successful businessmen in America today, a small businessman who became a business titan. He is living proof the American dream used to work, but no more. His story not only proves the American dream used to work, it also proves why it no longer works. Wait until you hear what he has to say about trying to run a business in this economy. My new book, The Murder of the Middle Class, paints a picture of economic devastation from coast to coast because of big government overreach, onerous taxes, debt, regulations, lawsuits, and increased IRS attacks on business. The odds of starting a new business and succeeding have been badly damaged. That's a fact proven by new studies. This is precisely why there is a severe shortage of new full-time, good-wage middle-class jobs. Small business traditionally creates a majority of these new jobs, yet small business is under withering attack by the Obama administration, the judicial system, and our political class. I could quote hundreds of factual statistics proving the American economy is in severe decline. Recently, we learned American household wealth has declined by over 1/3 in only 10 years. Over that same time, electricity, water, fuel, food, health insurance premiums, and taxes have soared, some by as much as 100%. But why deal with sterile statistics? Let's go right to the source. Let's hear the reason for the decline of American business direct from a superstar businessman who has boots on the ground. He understands exactly what it takes to succeed and exactly what's wrong with today's American economy. Who is he? Wayne Gorsek. Wayne Gorsek is the quintessential American entrepreneur. He's lived the American dream. Raised and adopted by his grandparents who lived in a single-wide mobile home, Wayne started a tiny vitamin company in Springfield, Illinois, out of a basement in 1994. Wayne grew his small company into the most successful online vitamin retailer in the world. His company became one of the few in history to earn Inc. 500 Hall of Fame status. For 15 years, Wayne Gorsek's company grew at a remarkable 50% a year pace. He became America's king of vitamins. Wayne Gorsek was living the American dream. He took his company public on NASDAQ in 2009 for a $320 million valuation. Along the way, he gave well over 1,000 Americans a full-time job with good middle-class wages and benefits. Many of his employees and investors made a fortune when his company went public. The average return to investors was measured in the thousands of percent. Wayne Gorsek retired at the age of 42 and bought not one, but 2 private jets and earned 2 single-pilot jet-type ratings. His story is a living, breathing example of how capitalism, combined with hard work and smart work, can produce extreme success for everyone involved. But today, Gorsek has a new story and a message every American needs to hear. Unfortunately, this updated story is proof positive that no recovery is coming and no middle-class jobs rebound is possible. Not right now. Here is the eye-opening part 2 of the Wayne Gorsek story. Gorsek got bored by retirement and decided to get back in the game. He took $26 million of his own money and started 2 new vitamin companies called drvita.com and natureslab.com. You've seen that brand at Costco. His company also manufactures Martha Stewart's new vitamin brand sold at Walgreens. This is where the story gets interesting. Gorsek reports on how things have changed. He says, "It doesn't surprise me that there are 92 million working-age Americans no longer working, and even worse, 108 million are now on one or multiple forms of welfare. It doesn't surprise me that for the first time in history, more businesses are failing each day than starting. I've now seen the reasons for the murder of the middle class up close and personal." Gorsek continues. He says things have changed dramatically since he started his first company in 1994, and not for the better. This is a quote. "I found it 3 times more expensive and far more stressful and difficult compared to 20 years ago. The differences are stunning. I did not have to risk $26 million of my own money to build a state-of-the-art vitamin manufacturing facility in Las Vegas. I didn't have to. I wanted to. I did it to create jobs, to lower vitamin prices, and significantly improve the formulations with made in the USA vitamins for consumers, and to help turn around the economy." Gorsek continued. "Don't forget my timing. I made the decision to invest $26 million of my own money during the worst economy since the Great Depression. Shouldn't entrepreneurs and financial risk takers like that be thanked and rewarded? Instead, he feels demonized, denigrated, targeted, and punished. Fear and uncertainty of the government is the #1 reason why there's a lack of quality full-time jobs," Gorsek says. But Gorsek sees many more problems. Here's a quote. "$1 trillion a year in welfare spending incentivized people not to work and it's made it hard to find quality employees. Why work when you can stay home, sleep late, collect dozens of different welfare checks, free food, free cell phones, free health care, and many other freebies from government? Then there are the much higher income taxes, capital gains taxes, employment taxes, hundreds of thousands of pages of onerous regulations, fees, and fines, plus the lawyer and accounting costs to comply with a maze of city, county, state, and federal laws. Now add in Obamacare, the biggest job killer ever. Because of the massive costs of Obamacare, many employers have no choice but to lay off employees or create only part-time, low-wage jobs. Here's Gorsek talking again. When I started my prior company in the 1990s, healthcare costs were $1 trillion a year. They're now at nearly triple that insane level to $2.8 trillion per year. Lastly, the ease for employees to file frivolous lawsuits is a disgrace. Lawyers are job killers, but guess who runs government and makes the laws? Lawyers. Here's Gorsek again. It just doesn't pay to risk your money to start a business anymore when the chances of failure are now near 100% and the government has monopolized the wealth and power only to the Fortune 1000 companies because they're the only ones that can afford to pay to play. Gorsek's advice is simple. If only our political leaders would listen. If Americans fail to elect politicians that will actually reduce the taxes, regulations, and make it harder to file frivolous lawsuits, as well as reduce the size and spending of government, while providing incentives for businesses creating jobs, you'll see the continued decline of the U.S. economy, the death of good jobs, and the murder of the middle class. We're staring at the end of the American dream, unquote. Priceless common sense advice from a proven business builder and job creator who's tried it twice and who sees the stark differences in America today. Wayne Gorsek's conclusion is simple. Quote, because of these changes, the second time around is so much more difficult, if not impossible. At this moment in time, the American dream, small business, and the middle class are all being murdered, unquote. Wayne wanted me to end this story by reminding all of you to only buy made in the USA brands whenever possible to support those companies creating jobs right here in the good old USA. A man who lives his own advice, Wayne drives a Ford pickup not only because Fords are made in the USA, but because Ford is the only American automaker who didn't accept a bailout. Wayne Gorsek is an all-American hero. I'm Wayne Alaroot for Personal Liberty. See you right back here next week. God bless America.